السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. كيف حالكم؟ إن شاء الله طيبين. اليوم إن شاء الله راح ألعب لعبة The Raven Remastered. لعبة صراحة من أجمل الألعاب اللي لعبتها. نزلت 2017، ما كانت ريماسترد. ما أدري متى نزل الريماسترد، يمكن بعدها بسنتين أو ثلاث. لعبة حلوة كلاسيكية، الحوارات جميلة. بسم الله نبدأ نيو جيم. Chapter 1. Starting new game will result in auto-save file being overwritten. Continue. Okay. يعني يقول لك بيصير overwrite على السيف السابق. There are some objects you have to look at more than once. زين أعطاك انت. أخي رهيب الساوند تراك حقه.
Thrilled, Miss Pendry. The Raven's heir. Soon as one of them's caught, another one takes his place. Hey, Harold, have you read this? Harold?
هارولد شكله اختفى. ما أتذكرها، لعبتها من زمان، أكثر من 5 سنين.
Harold, you hear me?
This is no time for fun.
This is no time for fun and games.
Games. شكله أكسنت بريطاني. Games.
We're on the same side.
Same side.
You tell me here. And where's Harold?
Harold? Well, there's another guard back there unconscious. That's probably him. The Eye of the Sphinx. Where is it?
It's there.
Oh, good. Then he hasn't got it yet.
You mean the Raven's heir?
Shh! Turn it off. He's gonna steal the eye.
But
طبعا ريفن حرامي كبير، يبغى يبوق هذا الشيء القطعة.
Yeah, but do you understand? You and me, mate, we'll be heroes. All right, now we just have to.
what?
سرقها. مو سهل ريفن ها.
Halt! Stop! You're under arrest!
هذا هو. يسموه أتوقع ريفن لأنه يلبس قناع ريفن. الريفن اللي هو الغراب، أتوقع الغراب الكبير يسموه. تحس يعني هاللعبة كانها فيلم كلاسيكي. بس فعلا ترى الريماسترد يعني تحسنت الرسوم. انا لعبت النسخة الأولية اللي مش ريماستر، مو ذاك الفرق، بس في تفاصيل أكثر الريماستر. تشبه في بدايتها، تذكرك بلعبة أغاثا كريستي اللي في القطار. لعبتها السنة الماضية ترى، بس هذه لا مختلفة شوي. هذا أتوقع كقصة أقوى. اورينت اكسبرس. لندن، طوكيو.
Hands up!
I don't have time to play. I'm on duty.
يقول ما يا بزر ما عندي وقت ألعب معاك.
You're funny, but you don't look like a real cop. You don't even have a revolver.
يقول له ما عندك المسدس الريفولفر، فأنت الشك إنه شرطي يعني. Who is he? He should go away. Who is he? Toy gun. خلينا نختار toy
Why
gun.
do you need the gun?
It's the Raven. He was gunned down, so now I need a pistol.
Dead birds don't need guns. Nor do live ones.
You don't know who the Raven is, do you? He's the greatest burglar ever. He stole paintings from the Louvre and those priceless eggs with gold and diamonds and stuff. And Bobby Dobbs says he replaced the crown jewels with rhinestones.
I know who the...
هو يعرفها عادل.
Although I don't quite buy that bit about the crown jewels.
Okay, burglary in London.
You do know these days there are thieves far more dangerous than your old Raven. 2 days ago, a precious ruby was stolen from the British Museum.
تكلم عن الكاتسين اللي تونا شايفينه.
A guard was severely injured.
Really?
Yeah. And you know what the papers say?
You talk too much, Constable.
Zellner, monsieur. Anton Jakob Zellner.
Or did he pull a gun on you?
No, monsieur.
Get a move on.
امشي يا ولد.
Inspector Legrand, it's a great honor to work with a celebrity like you.
We appreciate
Celebrity.
the support of the Swiss police. But it'd be better if you'd remain seated and keep an eye on things.
I would like to help. What's going on here?
But monsieur, your journey on this train is most unusual. Is it related to the burglary at the British Museum?
Not in the least.
And the safe? What's that for?
I'll let you know if we need your help, Constable. If you'll excuse me, I'll be in the first freight car at the back of the train for the rest of the trip.
I'm not here to enjoy the beautiful scenery. I am a good observer, and I have finally honed powers of deduction.
Thanks to that?
I watched the people on the platform in Zurich. I know, for example, that man over there is a violinist.
That would be more
عازف كمان هذا.
were the violin case.
Violinist.
And I believe that the gentleman in the next carriage is a German doctor on his way to Italy to take up a new position.
And what gives you that idea?
There's the rod of Asclepius engraved on his cufflink. And he's carrying a German-Italian dictionary.
ما شاء الله عنده شدة ملاحظة.
Following in Goethe's footsteps.
Too much luggage. And no, he's not retiring to Italy either. The suitcases are too shabby for me to believe that he can afford to retire in his late 50s.
All right then, Constable
Zellner.
Constable Zellner. If you're such a clever fellow, what am I doing on this train?
Okay, he's searching for someone. He's guarding some. ما بقول he's guarding some.
I think you're guarding something.
Oh, really? And what might it be?
Money, jewel. Yeah. Whatever inside the
I
safe.
really couldn't say. But it must be very important.
Why is that?
Because you are very important. They wouldn't have assigned the case to you if it were just a trifle.
Let's assume that we really are transporting something very important on this train. And let's assume that it really is my job to see that it arrives safely. Then why isn't the train crawling with police?
Don't arouse attention. You don't ما تبغى تثير الانتباه.
You don't want to arouse attention.
Évident. But why not?
It is a trap. More men are unnecessary. Yeah, more men.
There are enough police on this train as it is. If there were more, they'd only get in each other's way.
I can assure you that I'd pack every seat in every carriage of this train with police, if it were a matter of deterrence.
You're saying you don't want to scare off potential thieves? Ah, you're laying a trap.
That would explain why it's just me and not the army, n'est-ce pas? All the same, I can't comment on your speculation. Well, that is impressive, I admit. But the fewer people involved, the better. Get along fine without you.
ما يبغى يلفت انتباه المجرم الحقيقي،
Whoa.
السارق الحقيقي.
Pardonnez-moi.
I can help, and I will help. You're in my country, and I've been ordered to assist you. And that's exactly what I'll do, whether you like it or not.
Clever and stubborn. Your commitment speaks volumes, Zelna. But this is my show, and I don't need you. Bon voyage.
But how do you know? Oh, hello.
You cheated.
I did what?
I saw you talking to the German doctor on the platform. He told you everything himself, and you were just pretending to put two and two together.
And what of it? Do you know who that is? That's Inspector Nicholas Legrand. You have to impress him if you want to work with him.
I'm going to tell on you.
You'd really tell on me? To the very policeman who shot your dear Raven?
Whoa! It was him?
Mm-hmm. Hunted and killed Europe's most famous burglar. That's how he got his start.
I won't tell him a thing.
I wouldn't either.
والله خبيث لعب عليه.
Matthew Miller from Dillsburg, Pennsylvania.
All right, Matthew Miller from Dillsburg, Pennsylvania. I have to do my work now.
Everyone calls me Matt. Well, except for my mom. She calls me Maddie, as if I were a little kid.
شوف أقنع إنه لا يفتن عليه.
Legrand wants my help or not, I'll keep my eyes open. Maybe I can change his mind.
Yes, tell me more. Do you want to learn about the game control tutorial? Yep. Okay, to examine an item, move next to it with the left stick. Use the right stick to select it and press A. Select the sandwich paper on the table. Okay?
This morning I thought I wouldn't be hungry because of all the excitement. Thankfully, I bought a sandwich with me anyway.
طيب. Very good. Now press Y. This opens the inventory in which you can see all the items that Constable Zindler is carrying. Use the left stick to select sandwich paper and press it so that it is displayed in the top of the corner of the screen. Okay, اختارها. Now you can use sandwich paper with other items. Select the apple core on the table and press. Okay. Open the inventory again, select the sandwich paper and press E to examine.
I wrapped the apple core in the sandwich paper. That way I can carry it without making a mess of my trouser pocket. Still, I'd prefer not to have to carry them all day.
Of course, you can also use the item inside the inventory with each other. Select paper napkin with A and then select sandwich paper in the inventory with A. طيب. تقدر تمكسهم يعني. Of course, you can also use the item inside the paper with each other. Select the paper napkin with A and then select the sandwich paper in the طيب. ما يستوي. اوه لازم ما تضغط
It came with a croissant I bought at the train station. A guilty pleasure. I don't need that.
Let's get rid of dump and litter from your inventory into the assurance. Okay.
Every table has its own waste basket. Practical. No need to ever leave your seat. Every table.
That wasn't too hard, was it? And now you know everything you need to know about. طيب. Okay.
The violinist is a good-looking fellow, and he's traveling through the most beautiful mountain landscape in the world. One can only hope that his violin is better tuned than he. The violinist is a good-looking fellow, one can only hope that his
أكلمه.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Who is he? Where is he traveling to?
Mistaken, you're a violinist.
That's true.
A wonderful instrument. The violin music touches the soul.
That's why I learned to play it.
Do you play in an orchestra?
No, orchestras aren't really part of my world.
A solo violinist. The best soloists travel a great deal and make a pile of money, or so they say.
In that case, I'm probably not one of the best.
Okay, where is he traveling to?
Are you traveling to Istanbul non-stop?
No. I'll transfer in Venice to a ship.
Venice ورا.
I'm on my way to Cairo.
Cairo?
I'm
اوه مصر ورا.
in the Egyptian museum there.
واو. بروح أول شي فين اللي هي البندقية في إيطاليا، بعدين بروح كايرو القاهرة.
I'm sure your recital will be a great success. But tell me, did you notice anything unusual on the train?
Anything unusual?
Persons acting suspiciously, for instance.
For heaven's sake, is there cause for concern?
Everything is in order, sir. We Swiss are just very cautious people.
I understand.
يقول إحنا السويسريين ناس حذرين جدا.
Have a good trip.
Thank you.
يقول كذا، يقول إحنا السويسريين.
Very kind of you. Thanks. Oh, pardon me.
No problem. The uniform is waterproof. Mr.
الملابس اللي حقت ما تتبلل واتر برو.
Oh, a professor?
بروفيسور.
A scientist?
ما شاء الله.
At the Sorbonne?
No, I work at the British Museum in London.
You don't say. So you were, shall we say, an eyewitness to the burglary 2 days ago?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Oh, no?
There was a lot of commotion, but I didn't really pay much attention to it.
There was a break-in in your museum, and it didn't concern you?
Well, let's just say that nothing that's happened in the last 2,000 years concerns me.
كإنسبكتر لقى.
Whatever you say. The famous Inspector Legrand is on this train. I imagine you know him.
No, should I?
أبدا ده شكل عالم مهتم بس
Know what he's doing?
مجاله.
No. Well, why should I?
Just a thought. You're a representative of the British Museum. There's a guarded safe on the train.
I'm sorry. I don't know what you're trying to imply. And now, please excuse me.
ومل منه. Destination of the trip.
May I ask where you are going?
Of course. To Venice.
البندقية.
Going to meet some colleagues there.
Oh, Venice. A beautiful city. so I'm told.
Indeed. But I really have to take my leave now.
يبغى يمشي.
Just one more thing. Did you notice anything unusual on the train?
Here? On the train? No. I can't say that I have. Although I did spend most of the time in my compartment.
Okay, goodbye.
I don't want to take up any more of your valuable time, but you do understand, don't you, that what concerns me is the present, and especially the robbery at the museum.
Yeah, of course, of course. It's just... I'm in rather a hurry.
You'll get in touch if you notice anything unusual, won't you, Professor?
Of course, Constable.
Okay.
What's this?
What's the matter, sir?
The door. I can't open it.
وتقفل.
We'll sort it out somehow. The compartment is locked.
But I didn't lock it. I don't even have a key. I asked the steward. He was going to bring me one, but he never came back.
Someone locked it.
في واحد قفلها.
Find the steward. He needs to bring me the key immediately.
Calm down, Professor. I'll see what I can do.
You don't understand. I have to get back in my compartment.
All right, just wait here.
Okay, أروح أكلم هذا.
He doesn't make a very balanced impression. And he, of all people, isn't bothered by a robbery in his own museum. You can easily lock the compartment door from inside by turning a little knob.
But I didn't lock it.
طيب.
Professor, if you had locked the door from in there, you wouldn't be out here.
مرة بارد.
True.
I don't believe that... It's no use. The bolt is too short to get a good grip on it.
عندي شيء في الانفنتوري ترايته. عندي حبوب.
Perhaps a thoughtful conductor noticed that Professor Lucien wasn't in his compartment and locked it. The little label on the door reads Baroness von Trebitz.
بارونة.
Blood on the Orient Express.
بلو بلود الدم الأزرق يعني في هالقطار ناس هاي كلاس.
I don't believe it. I never thought I'd ever meet you.
Pardon me, but we'd prefer...
It's all right, Miss Miller. I'd like to speak to the inspector.
Unfortunately, just a constable, Lady Westmacott. I'm reading The Vicarage in the Mirror right now, for the 5th time at least.
That's nice.
كاتبة هذا.
Zellner. Anton Jakob Zellner.
This is my companion, Miss Miller.
A pleasure.
What is she doing here?
Ask what you're doing here? Are you on holiday?
Holiday? Yes, so to speak. The first and last holiday of my life.
Madam?
I've been writing since I was a little girl. It became my job, and now I've stopped. So, this must be a holiday.
You quit writing? Impossible. I have all of your books. Your Detective Partout is my favorite character.
Then I have bad news for you. I killed the old wretch off years ago.
I don't understand.
I'd rather not discuss my work, Constable.
Oh, well.
أوه هذه كاتبة زي أغاثا كريستي بس اعتزلت وما تبغى حتى تناقش أحد برواياتها.
Are you traveling to Istanbul, Lady Westmacott?
No, we are on our way to Venice.
كلهم رايحين فينيس.
There we will take a ship to Cairo. As you
كلهم رايحين لكايرو.
mentioned for archaeology, I fund a few excavations in Egypt. I traveled to Egypt by ship as a young woman, and now I'm doing it again as an old woman.
I see.
Okay.
As a writer, you must be very observant. Am I right? I mean, you have to study the behavior of people around you to create the characters in your novels, don't you?
I solved the mystery of human nature a long time ago, Mr. Zellner. Since then, most people just bore me.
Really? I had the impression you were eyeing me suspiciously as I came in.
What do you want to know, Constable?
Did
archaeologist.
you notice the man who just walked into the next carriage with a cup of tea?
البروفيسور.
He seemed nervous. He was waiting at the bar for the steward, and since the steward never appeared, he elected to help himself. He took 2 biscuits.
He seems pretty young, but he's already a professor at the British Museum.
Interesting. I'll have to talk to him later. Just out of courtesy, of course.
Of course. Did you notice the blonde man with the violin case?
I certainly did. He introduced himself and tried to make a good impression. People like him are drawn to wealth and fame, like moths to a flame.
But his charms failed on you.
I know him by name. David Kreutzer. He was a drain on my friend's purse.
Do you think he has a money problem?
People like him always have a money problem. No matter how much you give them, they always spend twice as much and complain that they have far too little.
مبدر يعني.
Did you notice anyone else? What about the doctor?
I notice that you've asked me about everyone, except for the inspector who went in the direction of the freight car a few minutes ago. Isn't that the Frenchman who made his name when he caught the Raven?
I wouldn't quite say caught.
Well, shot. Why don't you ask me about him and my theory about what he's doing here?
I don't think we should discuss Inspector Legrand's investigation in public.
Legrand, right. That was his name. Will he save the day again? Or will you, Constable?
As much as I'd like to keep talking, duty calls.
You were right.
Madam?
I did observe you as you came in. You seemed so eager.
It's been a long time since I've had a chance to prove myself, madam.
And this is it. Your chance.
I do hope so.
Then grab it. Even small people can make big changes, as my friend Ronald likes to say.
I shall do my best.
Okay. Return of Raven. لا يكون هذا يكتب كل شيء.
Pills for my heart. I'm supposed to take one if I have trouble. My daughter
عنده مشاكل في القلب.
with me. She was strongly against this little adventure, but I wasn't about to change my mind. I bought it last week at a flea market. I like it because it tells a story. I suppose the previous owner bought himself a newer one. This one still works just fine, though. Butterscotch. I've loved them since I was a child. Their only drawback, they don't play nice with false teeth.
أوه أصلاً تركيب شكل.
I've loved them since I was a child. Their only drawback, they don't play nice with
false teeth.
I suppose the steward won't object to me having a look around in his absence. Maybe if I just sunk it. Who'd have thought that one day butterscotch would remind me of my age and of all the things I had to leave behind.
ديك تاخذها مرة ثانية.
The pad on which the steward writes orders, empty. Maybe he didn't use it because there's not much to do today. The pad on which the steward writes orders, empty. Maybe he didn't use it. I don't need the pad, but the pencil might come in handy.
افتحها بالبنسل.
The steward probably uses the scissors on hard-to-open packages. These days, nearly everything is sealed up tight. A colleague recently told me about dry powdered soup in small bags. I couldn't believe it. Perhaps he keeps the compartment keys in there. Locked. Where could he be? This is the steward's own little kingdom. But as long as he's not around, he won't be upset if I take a look. When I scratch the pencil's lead with the scissors, I get fine graphite powder. I won't get a Nobel Prize for the idea, but graphite powder will bring out fingerprints at a pinch. I scraped a small amount of graphite off the pencil lead. The powder is very fine, practically dust.
بس وش فايدة اللي أخذته؟
This is the steward's own little kingdom, but as long as he's not... The drawer is locked, and the steward probably has the...
ما يمديك تستخدم شيء.
A shortwave radio. It's amazing how small these things have become in the last 10 years.
تمام رادي. أنا نشغله.
A shortwave radio. I made the acquaintance of Dr. Gebhardt on the platform in Zurich.
Mr.
Zellner.
Right. How can I help you?
Tell me, did you notice anything suspicious here on the train or in Zurich?
You mean, except for the fact that my suitcase was stolen on the platform? No. Is there any reason to be concerned?
No, just routine.
Constable Zellner, please don't think I'm naive. I spotted the inspector from Interpol. Legarde is his name, if I recall correctly.
Legrand.
If you say so. At the train station in Zurich, he put a cash box into the safe, and then kept close watch as it was loaded onto the train. Don't tell me that a man at his pay grade routinely tramps across the Alps just to keep an eye on cash boxes.
A cash box? Like the ones you find in safe deposit boxes?
Precisely. And I believe we both have a good idea just what's inside.
Cashback.
Indeed have a theory. But what's yours?
A ruby was stolen in London. One of the legendary Eyes of
the Sphinx.
The second jewel, an emerald, is rumored to be in a Swiss bank vault, if I remember correctly. Both jewels were supposed to be exhibited together in Cairo for the first time in 50 years. It does make one wonder.
Okay.
Indeed.
يعني الهدف انه ياخذوا القطعتين. في قطعتين، واحدة في المتحف انسرقت وواحدة في بنك. يبغى ياخذوها إلى القاهرة.
Any news about the robbery in London?
Quite something, wasn't it? It must have been professionals. The way they disabled one of the best security systems in the world. Most impressive.
People were injured.
One cannot execute a robbery of that scale without collateral damage. It seems like the Raven has finally found a worthy successor. We can look forward to new and spectacular coups.
I'm afraid I won't enjoy his exploits this time around if the new Raven is so reckless.
That's your prerogative.
Borrow your newspaper.
You can take the section with the article on the burglary. You're interested in that bit, aren't you?
You got me out.
Here you go.
Dankeschön. Something else. Do you know where the conductor is?
I'd like to know that myself. I told him to search for my missing suitcase in Zurich. He hasn't got back to me yet. He's
هذا عنده شنطة مفقودة.
with the thieves and didn't bother getting back on the train. If we don't crack down on vermin like them, the rabble will rule the world one day.
Well, at the moment, we still don't know what really happened.
He is not here doing his job. That's bad enough.
Auf Wiedersehen, Dr. Gebhardt.
Goodbye, Constable. It was a pleasant chat, really.
وين الجريدة؟
Luna's Drops. The calming herbal liqueur for women. A glass a day. It relaxes
هذا الخبر مش مهم.
and maintains domestic tranquility. Luna's Drops. If you don't want to bother your husband.
أتوقع هذا الخبر
A story about the upcoming Oscars and Cleopatra's chances of winning. An incredible feat. They built the largest movie set of all time in Rome. And because of the main actress's many illnesses, several changes of director and months of delays, cost shot to over $40 million. The most expensive movie ever made. A record never to be broken. John Surtees won the Formula One World Championship for the first time on Saturday. He also won the World Championship in motorcycle racing from 1956 to 1960, making him the only man in motorsports to win world championships in both motorcycle and Formula One events. Not really my cup of tea. Too loud, too fast, too much exhaust.
كأن في شيء ما قريته. لا قرأ كله. Read هنا.
Let's see if there's any news.
هذا له.
Eye of the Sphinx, one of two priceless jewels, extraordinary pure ruby, 2000 BC, etc., etc. Old news. And here, shocking burglary. Professional thieves surprised by museum guard Charles Langley and Constable Robert Oliver of Scotland Yard. Explosion? Not really anything new. One of the two eyes of the Sphinx, a ruby that's nearly 4,000 years old, was stolen from the British Museum. The burglar was surprised, but managed to escape with his loot without being recognized. That's the official story. But it says nothing about Legrand and the second eye.
شوف السفينكس أتوقع أبو الهول. إيه أبو الهول سفينكس أبو الهول. في له عيونين، عيون مصنوعة من العقيق روبي، العيون الثانية من الإيميرلاند الزمرد، اللي من العقيق انباقت شفناها في الكاتسين، الثانية موجودة في بنك، الظاهر انها بتنباق. في فوق.
The ladder leads up to the roof. It will be suicidal to climb up there while the train is at full speed. The wind, tunnels...
لازم يخفف السرعة عشان.
I strongly suspect that the door is locked. No, it's open.
هذا اللي فيها الأمتع.
Wow.
Don't move a muscle, you feathered fiend.
Put the gun down, Robert. If I may introduce Constable Robert Oliver from the yard. This is the revered Constable Zellner of the Swiss police, who obviously couldn't control his curiosity.
كيوريوسيتي فضولي جدا الشخصية اللي أنا ألعبها.
Then I was right. You really do want to lure someone into a trap.
That's none of your business.
هم هدفهم يجذبوا الحرام.
Someone recently struck in London.
And how would I bait my trap then?
With an eye? An eye on its way from Zurich to Cairo?
Someone has done his homework. Well done, Constable.
I hope you'll acknowledge that I, as a Swiss policeman, can undertake investigations in my own country.
Are we still in Switzerland?
I could be your eyes on the train as long as you're here in the freight car.
Oh, really?
Archaeologist.
There's a certain Professor Lucien on the train. He's an archaeologist from London.
And what's his story?
Well, it seems someone locked him out of his compartment.
Locked him out?
Well, yes. The door is locked and he's standing outside without a key.
Was it locked from inside?
It may have been. Do you think the locked door could be important?
Professor Lucien plays an important role in this story. Well then, Constable Zellner, be my eyes and ears on the train and see that Professor Lucien gets back into his compartment. Report back to me when you're through.
My pleasure, monsieur.
Constable
Robert Oliver. Is it possible that I read your name in the newspaper?
Ah, could be, sir. Could very well be.
Robert was there when the first eye of the Sphinx was stolen.
هذا كان في الكاتسين.
Museum. Did you spot something from outside?
Well, sir, I noticed that a door was ajar, which was suspicious, and it was my duty to investigate, sir.
Scotland Yard gave him a commendation and assigned him to me as a liaison.
A great honor, sir.
What do you know of this Raven's heir?
He tried to blow me up.
Robert, we don't know who we're dealing with yet.
In any event, the new Raven is a more dangerous man than the old one.
How do you know it's a man? It could just as easily be a woman.
Or several men.
And anyway, how do you know that it's a new Raven?
Monsieur?
Never mind.
I go attend to the door now.
Good. And Constable Zellner,
Yes?
don't bother us unless you have something new to report.
Of course. A thief might get anxious if there's too much activity in the freight car.
Exactement. Knock twice. Then we'll know that it's you.
Understood.
طيب يعني هم شاكين إن
On behalf of the brand, that takes me one step closer. If I can convince him of my competence, I might even be able to see this case through to the end. Inspector Legrand was quite clear. I'm only to enter the freight car if there's news to report.
في شيء ما شيك هذا. هم يعتقد إن في هذا الريفن في خليفة له.
A box with a padlock. I suppose it contains tools for the train's crew, maybe for coupling and uncoupling the cars. At any rate, it's positioned so that it's easier to reach from the ground than from up here. Locked.
Bang, bang!
Huh?
Don't move!
Mad? Have you gone mad?
I'll shoot! Hey, my pistol!
You'll get it back in Venice. I could have fallen under the wheels.
I thought you were a ghost.
Ghosts don't exist.
They do too. Once you flew past the window.
Yes, sure. Now get moving.
Oh, man.
The box is secured with a padlock. I won't be able to open it without a key. I'd better let him read his newspaper if I don't have any pressing questions. I made the acquaintance of Dr. Gebhardt on the platform in Zurich. Matt will get his pistol back in Venice. That and a good dressing down. I made the acquaintance of Dr. Gebhardt on the... I'd better... pills for my heart. I'm sick, my daughter, but I want.
Oh, Constable?
Yes, ma'am.
My son didn't make any trouble for you, I hope.
ولدها.
He just walked past us, silent and seething. That's usually a sign that someone's laid down the law.
أوه تسأله لأن أخذ من عنده المسدس.
A rather dangerous one. The lad left me no choice but to take away his wooden pistol as a punishment.
I understand. And thank you. Matty is a very lively child. Sometimes he needs a strong fatherly hand.
Where is Matt's father, if I may ask?
He's...
توفى أبوه.
I understand.
Could you, leave Matty's pistol here, perhaps? So you don't have to bother with it?
Of course. I told him he wouldn't get it back until Venice.
الأم حست بولدها.
Thank you again, Constable.
Mrs. Miller made a good impression. She wanted to protect Lady Westmacott from me, a pushy admirer. Very diligent. But she does seem a little nervous and tense. I imagine she has her work cut out for her with Matt. And a difficult boss, from what they say.
أنا اخترت إني أكلمها.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes?
Did you notice anything unusual on the train?
Oh, I'm afraid not. I was totally focused on my work.
She's always got an awful lot to do, my Mary.
You have to tell me if that's not all right with you.
Good Lord, child. Knit as much as you want.
So, nothing out of the ordinary.
No, Constable.
Goodbye, Mrs. Miller.
Goodbye, Constable.
An extraordinary. Yet, there are but nothing. There are but nothing. An extraordinary. Yet, is.
Yes, what is it?
Whoever that is, James, ask them whether they found my purse and then closed the door. The noise on this train is driving me crazy.
A purse. Was it stolen?
At the very least, I cannot find it, sir.
It was stolen.
When was the last time the Baroness saw her purse?
What?
In Zurich, on the platform.
كانهم مبيوقين.
I just asked where you last saw your purse.
In Zurich on the platform. James, tell him that I still had it when I got out to stretch my legs.
The Baroness says...
Maybe you lost it there.
What?
The Baroness never loses anything, sir.
I never lose anything.
Very well then. I shall be on the lookout for your purse. If I might ask you a few questions about your fellow passengers.
I thought he was looking for my purse. James, tell him to look for my purse.
The Baroness wishes that you search for her purse.
But couldn't we perhaps... All right. First, the purse. I will have a look around.
Thank you, sir.
Professor Lucien?
Yes? Do you have the key?
Actually, I wanted to...
Please, I have to go back to my compartment.
The bolt is too short to get a good grip on it. I'm at a loss without a key or a proper tool. Need the right key or a proper tool to get the door. If I may trouble you once more. A passenger is missing her purse. Perhaps you've seen it.
So,
There are thieves on the train.
It's been missing for some time now. Probably since Zurich.
The Swiss don't let go of money easily, do they? Oh, pardon me. No, I haven't seen the purse.
Have a good trip.
Thank you.
The violinist is a good-looking fellow. One can only hope that his violin is better tuned. We Swiss are crazy about trains. We don't just have a lot of railroads. We have the most beautiful ones in the world.
اوف هذا يتضايق من النافذة.
Would you be so kind as to close the window? I don't want to sit in the draft.
Oh, pardon me. Should
زعلان.
I ask for an autograph? That will be quite unprofessional. But on the other hand... Hello, Matt.
زعلان منه.
Come on. Are you going to be angry with me for the rest of the trip?
Until I get my pistol back.
I gave it to your mother.
Oh, man. Couldn't you have just raked me over the coals?
Would you have learned anything from that?
I didn't learn anything from this either.
Matt doesn't really seem to be content. Come on, Matt. Did you really think that you can ignore me for longer than I can ignore you? I'm Swiss. It's practically a national sport. I like the book. It describes life in a small English village. The characters are lifelike, and you can tell that it's based on the author's own experiences. There could be many reasons my money's on alcohol. It wouldn't be the first musician who ruined his career that... The large map shows the different routes of the Orient Express. This train began in Paris and ends in Istanbul, as usual. Unfortunately, it will make most of its journey without me. This is the first car. The coal tender should be directly beyond this door, and in front of it, the engine. Pills for my heart. I'm sorry, my daughter, but I want. The Baroness seems to have, I better not bother her until I... He doesn't make, and he of all... First, I bet doesn't seem like I'll get any... The bolt is too... I'm at a loss without a key or... The bolt is too short to get a good grip on it. I'm at a... The bolt is too short to get a good grip on it. I'm at a loss without a key or a proper tool.
كيف في شيء هنا؟
The steward must have forgotten the toothpicks. Normally he would offer them discreetly after dinner.
ايش اخذت؟ توث بك يمكن تقدر تستخدمه. يمكن استخدمه هنا.
I need a bit of wire or something like that to pick the lock. I need need a bit of wire or something like that to pick the lock. I need a bit of... 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 This is the steward's own little... But as long as he's... This is the steward, but as long as he's not...
يمكن استخدمه على
This is the steward, but as long...
الكومبارتمنت اللي هناك.
Hello, Doctor...
Ah, Mr.
I meant to ask, the Baroness is missing her purse.
يقول عن شنطة البارونة.
This train is really full of the creme de la creme. The queen of crime is over there, and now a baroness as well.
Have you seen the purse?
Unfortunately, no. Do you know Lady Westmacott? You were talking to her.
Well, I'm an admirer of her work.
Like so many others. I once read in the newspaper that only Shakespeare and the Bible sell more copies than her crime novels.
I read that too.
She must be filthy rich. As a doctor, I'd have to work 1,000 years to earn that kind of money.
Auf Wiedersehen, Dr. Gebhardt.
Goodbye, Constable. It was a pleasant chat, really.
The box is... The box is...
يقول لهم عن شنطة البارونة.
Anything to report?
Baroness von Trebitz told me that she's missing her purse.
Baroness von Trebitz? Interesting.
Indeed, sir.
But it has nothing to do with our case.
So I shouldn't concern myself with the matter.
Why not? It's your job as a policeman. But don't expect me to be particularly interested in a lost purse.
I'll get back to work now.
Good.
هاي شوفها شيء تافه.
Excuse me, Lady Westmacott.
Constable Zellner.
A passenger's purse has gone missing. I suppose you haven't seen it.
I'm sorry, Constable Zellner. As you know, I only deal with murder, not burglary.
Have you asked my boy yet? Maddie is good at finding things.
I'll go and do that now. I was wondering if you might...
خليها توقع.
If it isn't too much of an inconvenience.
Of course it's an inconvenience, but only a small one.
ليش يبغى أتوقع الكتاب؟
You are welcome.
Thank you so very much. Another time. Farewell, Lady
Constable.
I think it's... Although... First, I better see about dozens. The Baroness, I better...
خلينا نشوف إذا يمدينا بالتوث.
The bolt is too short. I'm at a... Matt is digging in his heels. Matt is digging in his heels. I won't get anything out of him as long as he's angry with me.
قول هذه زي الرشوة.
Butterscotch?
You think you can bribe me?
I have no reason to. You made trouble and got punished for it. Take it as a peace offering.
Just 4?
If I'm faster than you, there'll only be 3.
Hey!
Friends again?
Mm-hmm.
All right then. And no dangerous nonsense anymore.
Okay.
Your mother is Lady Westmacott's companion, correct?
Yeah, but it's not like you think. At first I thought, boy, you must be really wicked if you need to pay for friends. But the lady's really okay. A bit odd and really old. But other than that, she's great. She likes me.
The lady has peculiar taste.
Hey!
You and your mother, do you both live on Lady Westmacott's estate?
I'm only there for the holidays. Most of the time I'm at boarding school.
I imagine that's not very pleasant.
No, it's fine. I have friends there. You always have to be so quiet in the lady's house. And I'm not allowed to bring any friends.
Such a big house with so many places to hide and no one to play hide and seek with.
You said it.
And how long has your mother worked for the lady?
2 years.
And your father? What does he do?
He stayed home. I used to go fishing with him. And hunting. He even let me shoot a real gun.
And then?
Then Mom fought with him. And he left. I was 7.
Oh. And how old are you now?
In 8 months, I'll be 9 years old.
And do you already know what you want to be when you grow up? A burglar?
No. We'll see. Maybe an actor.
Really? Well, I don't know. You need a lot of talent for that. I'm an actor in a theater group, you know?
You are?
Oh, yes. And I'm one of the best in our group, if I may say so. I get really deep into my roles, you know? I don't just talk like the character. I think like him. I become him. It's the only way to... Matt, are you okay?
مريض شكله.
I think you just have to be good at copying things to be an actor.
That wasn't bad. Disturbing, but not bad. The Baroness in the second compartment over there is missing her purse. Do you have any idea where it could be?
Do I ever? That guy over there with the violin case?
أوه حرامي ذاك.
What about him?
He picked up something in Zurich and put it in his violin case.
أوه.
Yeah, and he made sure that nobody saw him.
But you saw him.
والله خطير الولد.
Also see what it was.
هذاك هو الحرامي.
Not really, but now that I think of it, it must have been the Baroness's purse.
I should look into it, shouldn't I?
I think so.
Tell me, have you seen the steward anywhere?
No. He was walking around a little while ago, though.
Hopefully they didn't forget him in Zurich.
What's he supposed to do?
I'm looking for a key to open a compartment door.
Did you check his things behind the counter?
I'm sure the drawers will be locked.
Can't you break it open? Or pick the lock like the Raven?
Perhaps. But I'd need a piece of wire or something like that.
Ask my mom. She has a lot of hairpins. She doesn't like the wind messing up her hair.
أوه أمه عندها واير.
The tip. So long.
So longer.
والله نفعنا الولد. يا أخي أنا حقيقي هذا.
The violin case looks pretty old. But that doesn't say anything about the quality of the best violins are often in the oldest. Excuse me, sir. About the purse.
Ah, yes? Has it been found?
Someone saw you with your violin case on the platform in Zurich.
What's the meaning of this? I didn't steal anything.
Nobody said you did. I just wanted to ask you whether you might have noticed anything on the platform.
Ah, well,
Why did you think I was accusing you?
well, I thought because you mentioned my violin case in the context of the purse.
Apropos, may I have a look at your violin? It must be a very extraordinary piece.
Oh, that's not possible. It's a genuine Guarneri.
Very valuable.
Very. And also very sensitive.
What could harm it here? Light? Air? May I ask you to open the violin case?
No, you may not. I'm not guilty of anything.
I'm afraid I have to insist.
Then I'm afraid you need a warrant. I will not stand back and let you rifle.
ما رضى يفتش غرفة. قصدي شنطته.
Have a good trip.
Thank you.
يقول لازم نجيب تصريح. هو شكل الحرامي هذا.
All right, Matt. Tell me now. The violinist won't let me check his violin case.
Of course he won't. He's hiding something. Should I distract him? Then you can have a look at his case.
What do you suggest?
I could tell him there's a suitcase full of money in the next carriage. If he's a thief, he'll definitely want to take a look at it.
I don't think he'll fall for that.
Or I could insult him and then run away. He'll try to catch me, and you'll have a chance to look in that violin case.
Now that I think about it, this is something I have to attend to on my own. It would be expecting a bit much from a little boy.
Little boy? You must be kidding.
Sorry, Sheriff, but your idea about distracting him is good all the same. So long.
So longer.
What are you doing? Didn't I make myself clear? The window stays closed.
I'm sorry, my fellow. I've no idea what I...
خلنا نشوف ام الولد. عندها واير.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes?
Hairpins.
Excuse my unusual request, but Matt said you have some hairpins. Could I borrow one?
One of my hairpins?
It's a long story. It would be a big help.
Well, if you really need one.
Go ahead, Mary. The constable won't do it any harm. Will you, Mr. Zellner?
Of course not, madam.
Is this one okay?
It'll do nicely, madam. How very kind of you. Goodbye, Mrs. Miller.
Goodbye, Constable.
اوكي الحين يمديك تمكس هذا مع هذا. ما يزبط.
I don't want to...
هو ما يحتاج تمكس.
But I think that this could pick up.
تستخدم الظاهر مباشر.
And suddenly, it's me who's the thief on the train. Oops, that was easier than expected.
والله فتح.
Batteries, a toothbrush, shaving brush, but not the key to the computer.
ما حصل المفتاح.
This one. Too small for the door, but it might still be useful.
يمكن حق الشيء اللي تحت. يمكن حق هذاك الشيء. خلينا نكلمها.
Better let him read his... The box is secured with a padlock.
ياب حق هذا.
That's it.
طيب وش داخل؟
Go. This should help.
طيب وش اخذت؟ ما يقول بس ده بس شد هل. اوه زرادية.
My grandfather was of mine, but I never... Inspector Legrand was quite... I'm only to enter...
طيب يمكن الزرادية تستخدمها على هذا.
There are... but not... There are thousands of things I would like to ask about. Not... Mrs. Miller?
تعطيها الهير بيت.
Thank you for your hairpin, Mrs. Miller. It really got me out of a jam.
Oh, really? That's good to hear.
شكرا يا سيدة ميلر.
Get back to me. Not everybody.
فكت أزمة.
I'm a Swiss policeman, madam. I couldn't do otherwise even if I tried. Goodbye, Mrs. Miller.
Goodbye, Constable.
مرة سلو بس. أتوقع الحين أو أقول له هذا، أقول له ترى لا لا باك شنطتك عرفنا.
I bet I could really get a grip on the boat with these.
Well, come on then, hurry up.
شو الزرادية حق هذا؟
Hello?
I barely left the window ajar.
Nothing to see.
أوه راحت القبعة، طلعت الصلعة.
Are you okay?
في شيء باق؟
Fine.
Do you have any idea why the door was locked?
I don't know. Maybe the constant vibrations caused the lock to lock itself.
You can't possibly believe that.
Well, then what's your theory?
The conductor could have locked it from the outside. On the other hand, it could have been someone here in the compartment who locked the door from the inside.
Who? And where have they gone?
They could have climbed out there.
Who would be that insane?
You tell me, Professor. So, what are you hiding in your bag? What do you have?
وش الشيء الغالي في شنطتك؟
Nothing.
No valuables?
Certainly not. Not on my salary.
It was enough for a first-class compartment on a luxury train.
That's my business.
You're playing a dangerous game, Professor Lucien. I'd like to look around a bit.
Of course.
Assuming there really was someone in the compartment and he climbed out the window, where's he gone? He's hiding something from me, and I have to...
شاك فيه.
I really wonder what the professor is hiding, but I can't just rifle through the luggage of innocent citizens. Wow, that's a very nice fountain pen.
If you'd managed to decode hieroglyphics that boggled the best minds of the last 3,000 years, you'd have received a gift like that as well.
No, nothing interesting. The Bible, Grimm's fairy tales, Moby Dick, and gin, whiskey.
موبي ديك هذه رواية حق
Classics.
عن حوت أبيض.
What's this?
شاف شيء.
What do you have there?
It's a button. From a suit or a uniform, I guess.
The burglar might have lost it.
Maybe. Or maybe...
شاف أزرار.
If I notice anyone with a missing button on his jacket, I'll ask him about it. But I wouldn't get my hopes up. If there was a burglar, he climbed out the window and jumped off the train. Professor Lucien?
Yes?
Oh, nothing.
Well,
Goodbye, Professor.
goodbye.
The Baroness seems to have... I better not... I have no idea... The train, many. I think the violinist is hiding, but to be sure that Matt was right, I have to get a look in the violin. How can I do that without the violinist's consent? The kid's not on the warpath for the next half. Matt says the violinist put some. We don't. I've no idea what I. That makes no sense. The violinist would close the window immediately, and I wouldn't have enough time to search his violin.
نبغى يطول يعني.
That may. I think the violinist is hiding, but to be sure that Matt was right, I have to get a look. How can I do?
Okay.
Professor Lucien is back in his I doubt he'll be leaving it anytime soon. Professor Lucien.
Door is open. How can I help you?
Godspeed,
Thanks.
The good professor is hiding. It would be good if I could find out more about the Baroness. I better.
Pardon me, sir.
We could have used you a few minutes ago.
أوه هذا نفسه.
I think it's
لكن ندور عليه.
Although she's just. There are, but nothing. I'd better let him.
أتوقع لازم أكلم هذولا. إذا صارت أحداث.
Inspector Legrand.
Anything to report?
I got Professor Lucien into his compartment using a pair of pliers.
Did you notice anything inside the compartment?
The window was open. Someone could have climbed out.
And the professor?
Acted suspiciously. He rummaged around in his leather bag.
And?
He seemed to have found what he was searching for.
Good. Good work.
Now, perhaps you could give me some information.
All right. We should.
What? The light's gone out.
أوف. يا ساتر. الحرامي جاء.
Me.
There, sir. An envelope.
رسالة.
My dear Nico, you should take a closer look at the box. R.
What the dickens?
R. الحرف الأول من اسمه. هيكون باقها.
It's...
أوه قنبلة.
Take cover.
أوه قنبلة. واو. خطير الحرامي هذا.
Oh dear. Oh.
Is everyone all right? Are you hurt? Quick thinking. Well done, Zellner.
No picture unlock.
I think the tunnel collapsed.
Then he's trapped. Hurry, we have to lock the second exit.
Sir, there's a fire up ahead. The engine's burning.
It's a distraction. Hurry, block the exit.
But sir...
The fire will consume all the oxygen.
He's right, Inspector. A fire in a narrow tunnel is extremely dangerous.
Merde. Go to the front of the train, find the engineer, and tell him to move the train out of the tunnel.
Yes, sir.
Are you ready? You have to uncouple the freight car. You understand?
I understand.
I'll see to the passengers. They should all wait in the tunnel. We'll check each one in turn as they go out.
Let's get to it.
ظلمة.
A lot was damaged by the sudden stop, but the bowl was thick enough to survive the fall. The last of the candy has... My God, what a fire. I hope Constable Oliver can at least reach the engine.
Pardon me, I did not mean to scare you.
What are you doing here, Doctor?
Legrand asked me to check whether there are any passengers left.
Really?
Excellent. Then I will continue searching at the...
Did anyone act suspiciously before the explosion? Did anyone leave the...
I was the only one on the train who wasn't seated when the freight car exploded. Thank God. Otherwise, I would have been caught by the blast as well.
You certainly were lucky.
Perhaps I was.
He didn't want to scare you. The truth is, it was a bomb meant to kill him and the Bob.
My God. An attack? But who?
The investigations are ongoing, but first we have to get the burning train out of the tunnel.
Oh, of course.
How are the passengers?
They are in a state of shock, of course. The blackout and the sudden stop were frightening enough, but then the explosion... Everyone rushed for the exits. I was helping the American woman bring Lady Westmacott to safety. They are waiting outside in the tunnel. One entrance is blocked by a fire, and the other one seems to have collapsed.
Continue to search the train. I'll decouple the buried freight car.
All right.
Doctor? Can you give me a few matches?
Oh, certainly.
Thanks. I'll meet you outside.
Do hurry.
أقدر أولعه؟ يب. يمديك تشوف.
I don't see Legrand or the constable, but I can make out the silhouettes of some of the passengers. They seem to be unscathed. All the same... The chair either fell over thanks to warning to get... I noticed the extinguisher earlier. Doesn't match the decor. I suppose that the railway company had to comply with...
أخذها.
It'd be useless against the fire out there, and it's too cumbersome to carry around. At best, I can use it here. All right, let's go. I bought it last week. It was... The last of the candy has vanished. The last of the candy... Carling Black Label. Champagne. Maybe we'll open... Whiskey, Scotch. No good. Insufficient alcohol. For practical. High-proof rum. Could be useful. I bought it last week. It was... The other pass, if I don't... Rum from... I bought it last week. It was... Pills. I'm supposed to take... Rum from...
وش أخذت؟
I should concentrate on uncoupling the freight car. I'm positive that Legrand... The fire. Here... There's a noticeable draft here. The ladder will be quite welcome. I'm sure I could uncouple the car if I only had enough light to see what I'm doing. The inspector... worse than that, he turned the tape to win again. The wheels came off the track, even if it... I filled the bowl about a third of the way with rum. That should do it. Rum from Austria. I filled the bowl about a third of the way. The material won't be able to soak up any more alcohol. The material... The material... I filled the bowl about a third of the way with... I expect the rum...
اوه تحطه هنا صعبة.
The alcohol burns with a dim blue flame. It doesn't shed enough light and will probably burn out in a few seconds. Won't solve my lack of light. I'll have to try something else. That should do it. Can't really say the fabric was eager to soak up the rum. I, on the other...
بس ما راح تحلها.
The material... I filled the bowl about a third... The material... I filled the... Strong stuff. Just as I expected, the alcohol burns with an almost invisible flame. The flame is... Some matches. I bought it last week. It was... I expect the... The material won't... The flame is...
كيف تحلها؟
The coupling mechanism. I'm sure I can uncouple the cup. I can feel, but I can't do... Okay, I'll smear some grease on the curtain.
Oh, هذا اللي
Grease
تحتاجه.
from the coupling is all over the curtain. It'll never be clean.
اتوقع الحين يمديك الجريز هو اللي بخلي النار تزبط.
Oil and grease burn bright and hot, but they also require a hot flame to combust. A normal match won't do the trick. The material won't be able to The flame is hot. The material won't be... The material won't be able to soak up any more alcohol. Some matches, and half of the... The flame is hot. The material... The flame is... The material... The material... The flame is... I expect the rum will burn like ethanol. I'm the god of fire.
اوكي ليش من شوي مو راضي؟ الحين ضبط.
The torch provides an...
الحين مدينا أشوف.
That's better now.
الحين يمديك تشوف.
A lever on a pressure sleeve running along a thread. Aha! I can uncouple it with this lever. Okay.
يطلع.
There we go. Time to get out of here.
واو شغلة. هذول خايفين.
Listen, everybody! Listen! Robert, what's the situation?
Yeah, I couldn't find the engineer, so I got in the driver's cab myself and released the brake.
All right. Good job. You too. Listen, please.
Matty! Where's Matt? Where's my son?
Relax, madame. I'm sure...
نسوه.
Matty! No!
والله بطل الأقرع. الساتر. شاشة مظلمة.
Matt, where are you?
كذا أروح.
Matt, are you there? Nothing. Hey, there you are. What were you thinking? Come out of there.
Is he gone?
Is who gone?
The man.
في أحد وياه.
What are you doing on the train anyway? Why didn't you wait in the tunnel with the other passengers?
I wanted to get my pistol.
Your pistol?
There's so many cops and thieves and explosions and everything. Then I need a pistol too.
Makes sense. What about this man?
There was a man. He was coughing.
One of the passengers?
I think he came down from the roof.
هذا اللي كان.
First, I'll stop the train, and then we'll have a chat, okay? You want to come out? Good idea. You stay put. I suppose this handbag belongs to Miss Miller, Matt's mother. Lady Westmacott's bag is probably... Aha! Hold tight, Matt. Damn, that makes things extremely complicated. The emergency brake either was damaged in the explosion or was... I think I should try to uncouple the locomotive. I can't get in. I presume the Baroness's luggage toppled over and is blocking the door. Professor Lucien's suitcase. Unlike the leather bag, he left it behind when he fled the train with the other passengers. I don't think there's anything interesting in it. Whatever the professor is hiding... The situation isn't...
Hey, Shay?
What have you got yourself into? Couldn't you have just let it be? But no, of course not. And now you're here, on an out-of-control train in the Alps, responsible for the life of a child who'll be doomed without you. What are you waiting for, eh? Time to save the day. The tanks don't seem to be damaged. The water is still running. That would only work if it were... A large, soft towel, very comfortable. I'll wrap it around my neck to keep my hands free. It's soaking up the cold water. They see out of the window because of the smoke. I don't know how much coal is burning on the tender up there, but it must be... If the emergency brake doesn't work, I'll have to try something else. Here goes. Ouch! Hot!
استخدم هذه عشان كذي هو بللها.
Locked.
قفل.
Matt's wooden pistol. I better confiscate it. An axe is for emergencies. If this isn't an emergency, I don't know what is.
أكسره.
Okay, we'll do it the hard way.
اقعد. وش في الدخان؟ اوه بيروح ويحبه.
That thing there, that keeps it under tension. This It's not working. Even if I could reach the lever with my hands, I wouldn't have the strength to move it.
كان ما يمدي.
Matt's wooden pistol. I better confiscate it. The axe works perfectly as a weapon.
Look.
That should do the trick. The coupling won't release because it's under too much tension. That's not just smoke. I can actually taste lumps of ash. It's time for my deputy sheriff's story. I uncoupled the locomotive at full speed. Not bad, eh?
Do you think we'll get in trouble?
Because of the locomotive? I don't think so. It was pretty old already. Come out so we can have a chat. I checked the entire train. There's no one on it except for us. What an adventure.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me, what did you see on the train?
Well, it was like this. I wanted to get my pistol.
وش ظلمة؟ هذا أحس لازم نرفع البرايتنس.
Achoo!
And then?
When the guy was gone, I got up and banged on the window. I wanted to get out of there, but then I thought, what if the guy can hear me from the next car? So I got scared, and I hid again.
You did well. Are you sure it was a man?
Yeah, very sure. What else could he be?
A woman?
No. Girls can't be thieves. Girls are always honest.
واخد فكرة سيئة.
Only you knew. Did you recognize the man? Have you met him before?
I don't think so.
Would you recognize him if you saw him again?
No. It was very dark and I was hiding.
Was he a tall man or a short man?
Just a man.
أتوقع اللي قابلناها.
Why do you think that?
He was sneaking around, even though everybody else was outside in the tunnel.
Maybe he just wanted to get his wooden pistol.
Oh, man.
The envelope that the man lost, where is it?
I thought it might be important.
I think we should have a look. Some cash. An Italian passport. Blank. Very interesting. And here, a ticket for...
For the cruise!
What?
The tickets we have for the big ship from Venice to Cairo look exactly the same.
Interesting.
والله ذاك الولد.
May I keep it?
What do you want to do with it?
Take a vacation.
بس روح.
And my chance to go with you.
نروح بالش اسمه الشب.
A part of my investigation, and you have no part to play in Cairo.
If I hadn't given you the envelope, you'd have no proof that the Raven's heir would be on the ship.
The ship is his next chance to steal the eye, and he won't give up until he has it.
And that's precisely why you should let me come along.
No.
I deserve to come along.
What you did was extraordinary. Far more than anyone could have a right to expect from you.
And you still want to leave me behind?
You met our foe and barely escaped with your life. You may not be that lucky next time.
It wasn't luck.
You can return to Switzerland with your head held high. Enjoy your triumph.
I have not achieved anything yet. The Fiend tried to kill us, and he's still at large. What else did you find out in the tunnel?
Not much. After we came out of the tunnel, Robert and I questioned the passengers.
Which didn't turn up anything new.
No. The engineer and the fireman were missing. They were found a few kilometers back on the track. Both claimed to have been overwhelmed by a shadow and thrown off the train.
But you don't believe that.
I'm checking their stories. One of them may have been paid to eliminate the other one.
How could the Raven's heir have found out about the trap? How was he able to put the dynamite in the box and place the letter?
The dynamite was probably already in the box when I put it in the safe. I didn't check it.
You had no reason to do so.
It wasn't my only mistake. I knew someone was on the roof of the freight car, but I let myself be distracted by that damned letter.
How did you know?
Too late. I should have reacted instantly.
اوكي، يقول انه هو القنبلة كانت موجودة من البداية، بس هو غلطته ما شيك عدل على السيف. يقول هو اصلا لما صارت الرسالة، يوم شاف الرسالة هو لاحظ واحد فوق، بس ما يعني تركه.
I'm coming with you. Full stop.
The thief was able to place 10 sticks of dynamite in a cash box right under my nose. For all we know, you could already be sitting on the next bomb. You cannot come.
But, Inspector...
We're here.
Inspector Legrand, an urgent telegram from Paris.
Bad news?
It's about the unfortunate events on the train. I'm to return to Paris and explain myself.
But sir, what about the eye?
They want to inform the Egyptian authorities that there might be a burglary attempt.
Might?
Egyptian authorities? What if the jewel is stolen at sea?
I know. I never received it. Keep a close watch on the loading of the eye, Robert.
Aye, sir. It was a pleasure meeting you, Constable Zelma.
What is the constable's problem with me?
I think he's jealous. Scotland Yard assigned him to assist me, just as you were sent by the Swiss authorities.
With the distinction that he may go to Egypt.
Robert is to accompany me at all times. Your mission was restricted to Switzerland.
At this moment, I want to be sent back to Switzerland just as much as you want to be sent back to Paris.
I know, but I'm walking on thin ice, and I can't carry you too.
And the second eye is in that safe?
Yes, an emerald. It's been kept in a bank in Zurich since the start of the war. I personally took it out of the bank vault, and Professor Lucien certified that it was the real thing.
And while a fake jewel was sent by train,
the real one was brought here in an armored car.
How is it protected?
You can only open the safe if you have 3 special keys. Professor Lucien has one, and Baroness von Trebitz, who's paying for all this, has the second. The third was sent by air courier to Dr. Abbas Mokhtar, the director of the Egyptian Museum in Cairo.
واو، مرة security.
You could possibly open the safe before it arrives in Egypt.
That's correct. We don't want to make it too easy for potential thieves.
Commendable.
واو، شوف كيف السيفتي على السكند اي. محطوطة في السيف له 3 مفاتيح، مفتاح عند البارونة، ومفتاح نسيت عند من قال، والمفتاح الثالث عند شخصية اسمها مختار مديرة المتحف، عشان ما يقدروا يفتحوها إلا إذا وصلوا إلى مصر، وعشان الحرامي ما في يعني لأي مجال إنه يقدر يفتحها.
I hope you're aware of the fact that you're risking your career.
Indeed I am.
Why do you care so much about this case? Someone pretends to be the Raven, and you promptly risk your career?
What if he's not just pretending?
What do you mean by that?
It's his handwriting. And there's only one person who ever called me Nico. Have you ever considered the possibility that I shot the wrong man?
شاك إنه مات، يمكن يكون هو هذا نفس الحقيقة.
But what do you mean by that?
Let us assume just for a moment that the person I shot and who fell from the roof was not the Raven, who would have cared enough to uncover the truth. The chief of police, the politicians? No, they wanted to revel in a successful manhunt, and it was the best thing that could have happened to the Raven. The search for him was over. He had no reason to fear me anymore. I had so many medals afterwards that he could hear them jingling kilometers away.
And now he's back? And you're the only one who can stop him? Does that sound probable to you?
The feathers, the letters. Nico. No one outside the police force knew that the Raven used to call me that in his letters.
Policemen gossip, and there are plenty of forgers. You can't seriously intend to stake your reputation on such weak evidence.
My reputation rests on something that I probably did not do. I have to find out who's behind all this.
Let's review. One of the 2 most valuable jewels in the world was stolen. Obviously, the second one will be next. And you suspect a legendary burglar who's been dead for 5 years.
Go on.
The second jewel is about to be put on board over there, in a safe that requires 3 keys. Our thief may already have the first key, the archaeologist's key, from the train. We don't know anything about the status of the second key, which was meant to be air freighted to Cairo.
We have to assume that he already has it.
Therefore, there's just 1 key left. The Baroness's.
Correct.
So, you'll need my eyes on board.
Look, you can keep your eyes open for me here on the wharf. I'd be most grateful. But when this ship sets sail, you will not, I repeat, not be on board. We're dealing with a dangerous man, and I will pursue him regardless of the consequences. I won't let you get mixed up in this affair.
It's still my decision.
No, it's not. It's mine, and I've already made it. Good day, Constable Zellner.
ما فادوا يا مرة بطيئة اللعبة.
In my younger years, I might have considered abseiling from the crane down to the... But those days... I'll be marching up this gangway today. Someone has to stop that damn bomber before he endangers more. I'll be marching up this... Someone has to... I don't want to run...
خلينا نوقف هنا. اللعبة مشكلتها بطيئة، ما أدري أكملها ولا. أتمنى المقطع عجبكم، نشوفكم على خير وفي أمان الله.